Hey everyone, welcome to Renee with Real Estate. My name is Renee.
And I'm Fred Jackson.
Yeah, and we're going to be here chatting today about something really awesome. It's actually the company that we both work with.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a lot of questions, why did you pick this company?
Yeah.
What about this company interests you? It was not my first company. It was my third. And there's a lot of videos out there that explain the model, but I told Fred, I was like, today we're going to actually collaborate to explain what our company is.
Yeah, and I think this would be great for, new clients or new agents or, anyone that might be interested in learning more about the real estate.
Well, because sometimes clients either are like, what brokerage are you with? What is that?
Right.
You're in the metaverse?
Yeah, exactly. Because, we're still fairly new, compared to some of the other.
The big names.
Exactly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
I know. So we're excited to kind of go through the model and hopefully answer some of your questions. If you have other questions, post below because we can answer those later. But yeah, we're going to kind of hit some of the highlights.
Yeah. And speaking of highlights, let's go ahead and jump in it. You ready?
Yeah. Let's do this.
All right.
Yeah.
So who is the founder? Let's just start with that.
That's a great question because when you think of eXp, everyone's like, what does eXp stand for? Actually, nothing. But it does. I mean, I'm in these South African model explain calls every week.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how he explains it. He's like, eXp, it's experience, expectations, excitement. So it's all these things that start with ex.
Correct. Yeah.
He kind of he wanted it to be nondescript, and he is Glenn Sanford. So if you look him up, I don't know if you know this, Fred, because I've learned so much about him having gone abroad to share the company abroad. But he was a former Keller Williams agent. He started just like us.
Okay.
Just an agent. And was in KW and actually had a team that sold 60 million. Huge production. Okay, huge, right? So obviously he was doing really well in the KW model. And then when the market crashed, I love how our owner thinks. And I say owner because he's not owner anymore. He's actually, because we're publicly traded, he gave up ownership and gave it to the public. But our founder, I love how our founder thinks.
Right.
Because he saw the crash not as a challenge. Like we could see the fact that we're supposedly in a recession or we could see all these things as problems or obstacles. And when literally the housing market bellied up in 07 and 08, he saw an opportunity. He said, with everything tanking, there's a clear slate for me to start something new and improve on the model that I've been so successful in. Because he was obviously ridiculously successful at Keller Williams. And so in that effort, he started this company but wanted to focus more on the agent and the individual agent success, not just the company and the brokerage's success.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad I'm here.
So he didn't have to go through other brokerages to find this.
You done my homework for me.
He listened to this video. No, he listened to this video, but it was me running my mouth. I'm like, Fred, and this, and this, and this. Yeah.
But because of our friendship, it just naturally came out. Like you always spoke highly about this company.
Over years.
Yes. And so when I decided to join real estate, get my real estate license, and I was like, well, you was like, well, where you going to hang your office or your license at? I was like, with you. I'm like,
oh, okay.
Like, I'm not, yeah. I'm like, you done my homework for me. Like, I look, if it works for you, and at the same time, it's like you keep speaking highly about this company, and it's just like, why would I want to look anywhere else or go somewhere else and kind of be a little bit, unsatisfied, or did I make the right choice?
But it's like,
here it is.
And like this video could be for somebody the way.
Somebody else.
Here's the way. Yeah. So that's who the founder, the former owner and founder was.
Now, did you get a chance to meet him?
I did.
How is that? How is he? Like,
look, he is. When you meet billionaires, I think meeting a billionaire is a little bit like meeting a celebrity. They meet everyone all the time, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, he was so down to earth. He's so like easy natured, just he's such a great person.
Well, that's awesome.
And what was really cool, we didn't obviously get to speak much because he was rolling through,
right, yeah.
But I listened to his speech because he was talking about the billionaire mindset classes, and he said, he goes, I didn't go into this wanting to make a lot of money. He said, I went into it to help agents and knew the money would follow.
Yeah.
And he's like, as I help others rise and have them achieve more and do more, in turn, I did also. And I was like, if we all only lived like that, like, you know, and it just resonated with me. And I think that might be why I was so attracted to the company, because regardless of the people that you may meet who work with eXp that don't behave that way, because they're out there, the company's founder and the root of our tree is rooted in that thinking. And I must have sensed it, because I've always, I've always felt that way. Like, I want us, let's all do this, and let's all be successful. Like, it's because if you're successful, I'll be more successful.
Exactly.
We'll all be successful.
Yes.
Who wants to be alone?
Right.
Be successful together.
Exactly.
So, I did get to meet him. He's awesome.
That's cool. I hope to meet him one day. Can you speak anything about the stock options? I know you've done very well. Your awards here.
You haven't seen them. They're on display.
Yeah. So,
and they're heavy. They're not like these cheesy, like they're heavy.
Renee's like,
I know. Listen, I stay strong. Okay, so the stock. So that's a great starter, because the stock was actually what caused me to look further into this before anything else.
Right.
And that was mostly because I had friends that worked at Starbucks back when it had just started being traded. So it had been traded. They weren't in the like day one, but they started in the late 90s, and we met up 20 years later, and they're like, we're loaded, because of they had the stock options at Starbucks. So every time they got paid, they got a portion of their pay put to company stock. So you can imagine a Starbucks paycheck versus our paychecks.
Yeah.
How much stock we buy. So I looked at them, I knew that ship had sailed. And I think when you're looking at thriving, and I've said this so many times, you don't want to pick, like, I could have said, I need to do Starbucks. Starbucks is where I'm going to, no, that ship sailed.
Right.
Yeah. That, and I think sometimes we're like, we come so late to the party, and we want that to be our party, but that party, like, we're late. Where I heard that, and then next thing I know, I'm talking about this, and it had only been offered to the agents as a stock option. Like, it was traded in 2013, but somehow was only available to us in 2018, maybe because, and I'm just guessing, was to secure its position on the NASDAQ, which I would want to do before I'm shoveling stock at my people. I want to make sure we're stable. So 2018 was when it was offered to us as agents, or 2017. And that's about when I joined. And so I was like, this is my ship. I was like, I'm like 20 years in this company, and this is my ship. You know, I won't be, it'll be later on in life, but who cares? Like, this is my ship. So that was my thing. Like, and to be fair, like, even for commissions, I took less commission to come over here than I was getting where the place that I left. And that's literally how much I saw the value of what he was giving us, the landscape of it. Not just, oh, my split's 80-20 now instead of 90-10. I was 90-10. Walked away from 10%, like,
oh wow,
to 80-20. So that's what so basically every time you close as an agent, you can take 5% of your commission on that close and purchase stock at 10% off. So you're buying stock at a discount. You have to vest that for 3 years because it's at a discount, NASDAQ rules. And then after 3 years, I keep getting emails now, your stock is vested, your stock is vested. So you think every time I closed, I bought. So 3 years later, those closes are coming back to me because my stock is vested. My stock, meaning I can sell it and take it. Now we're in a downturn in the market. It'd be stupid to sell, but I have no interest in selling anyway. Like the growth,
let it accumulate.
It's over time. So, and then when you join, you get 250 stock in the United States, and there's just constant stock options basically being handed to us, which I love about our company.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm not sure if you are. I know you did talk about the commission splits.
Let me go into that further because
yeah. You want to hit that a little bit?
A little harder, yeah. So, oftentimes people, for example, when I first started real estate, I didn't understand any commission splits, like broker pay commit, like these words, even after, because you go to school to get your license and you come out, they don't teach you any of that, right? And you come out, you're like, okay, what? Like, split what? You're going to take what?
Yeah.
Why are you taking that from me?
Right.
Like, I remember, especially because you're poor. When you start, you're like, why are you taking my money?
Right, yeah.
And I remember, like, the first brokerage I worked in, bless his heart, but he wanted, like, there was a monthly fee for marketing his firm. So we were paying to market his name.
Yeah.
Not our name, but it was it was just the deal.
Yeah.
You know, and I just remember being like, everyone's taking money from me. It just was like, so coming to eXp, like, that's why my second one was a 90/10 with, like, very few fees. Cause I was just like, I just felt like everyone's hand was in my pocket.
Right.
And so coming here, it was like a lot of people kind of miss what this company's doing for them because they just hear a commission split. They're like, well, I'm 90/10, I don't care. No. This company is 80/20 till you hit, and this is in the United States, so I could talk about other countries too, and I do, because we are everywhere, but till I hit $16,000 in broker paid commission. So when my 20% is $16,000, I'm 100% commission. So if you're not in a company that caps, you're already losing.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, so I can cap. My other companies didn't let me cap. So I'm capping. I'm like, I like this. This is great. I'll cap. I'm like, man, $16,000 is still a lot of money. $16,000. So that, when I got deeper into this company, that's when it got really cool because, you know, the $16,000, yes, I wouldn't have that necessarily back in cash, except he said, once you cap, you can earn your way to what's called icon, which are those awards sitting behind Fred. Right. And this really interested me because I also am like, give me a challenge and I'm going to go for it. Like, give me a challenge. So the challenge was it depends on your market, but we're in a very small market. So ours is 20, 21 houses. After you cap, it's when you icon. And once you sell those and you icon in your calendar year, you immediately get 8,000 back in company stock.
Yeah.
8,000. Also, you can liquidate that stock that day. Like, you can get that stock back.
Right.
You need a vacation?
Exactly.
Now that's short-sighted. So I never, I never. Yeah. But then that other 8, he said, if you're willing to do a few things, I will give you the other 8 back in stock as well. And that a few things included giving back to the eXp community as a mentor.
Right.
Or teaching classes in the world, or giving back. He give you $2,000 for that in stock because you gave back. If you attend both conventions,
right,
$2,000 each convention, he give that back to you in stock. So you're working your way to that full. Tell me, anyone that's listening, who else is going to offer to give you back everything you've earned in either in commission or stock? Who's doing this?
Right.
You literally can come out if you work, having paid the broker, goose egg.
Yep.
Who does that? Sold. Like, I was like,
again, she done my homework for me.
Yeah. And I mean, there are, so it's funny because everyone's like, now we've got the spinoffs, right? Like the copycats. So we've got copycats out there now who are like, we're virtual, we're this, and we're like, the virtual piece wasn't even a huge thing for me, but that's the other thing is that we're entirely virtual. So here comes the pandemic. And you can't go anywhere. Oh, guess what? Our company doesn't need to be in an office because we operate in the metaverse.
Yep.
Can you say buzzword? Metaverse? Like, I didn't even know what the metaverse was, even though I was in it.
Yeah.
Really, until like NFT conversations, I was like, wait, our company's been in that since day one. We own Verbella, which is the platform that created our metaverse. And that is where I literally, this morning, I was in South Africa, coaching South African agents on how to icon. And I think it's really hard to icon in South Africa. So we pitched it as icon training. And there's like 3 or 4 agents that showed up because they're the top producers and they had not yet iconed. And it's like, oh, okay, we got to reach back to like, now it's new. South Africa's only been in there 2 years. And I told these guys who were like, it's so hard to icon. I'm like, and it is. It's the top 2% of the company icons. And that's what I said to them, like, no, keep perspective. Everyone does an icon.
Right.
And that's not everyone's goal either. But I said, you have to run a little harder
Mm-hmm.
than what you're doing
Mm-hmm.
to reach there. And I kind of gave them some of the things that I did to push to icon. Like, you're in a second job right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, iconing may not be on the plate for you, and that's okay. If it is one day, we'll run for it. If it's not, you still have so much to earn
Correct.
back.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it's so much. Even just to get to cap is a huge achievement.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Which you'll get that.
Yeah. But I think that's definitely on my goal, is to at least cap.
So yeah, like that was the kind of, when you say commissions, it's so much more, because it's not, there's so many layers to what he literally, so I'm going to shift into the next question I know you probably got from me, is
the revenue share. Yeah. I was going to,
because this is coming off of the commission.
Yeah.
So when that 20, like, to further blow your mind about the 20%, further blow your mind, that 20%, he said, no single entity needs 20%. We have 87,000 agents globally now. No one entity needs 20% of 87,000 agents. I mean, you'd be like Bill Gates status. Like you would be just, you know, so he devised an algorithm where he said, look, until each agent caps, so, you know, they're paying that 20% to me as they sell, I will give a portion of that back to the agents that brought them in and are above them. So literally he's gifting.
Yeah.
Because come on, am I wrong? If you love something, what do? Talk about it.
Talk about it.
And you got the best. You got new kicks, and you love them, and they're so cool. What are you gonna do?
I already been telling all my family and friends.
Right? So here, and this is true, like in the 90-10 split, I was talking about it. Yo, I'm in 90-10, and guess I got like 3 agents to come on over because it was a great split. Did that broker give me anything for that?
Yeah.
Thanks, Renee. Which was nice. I like to be appreciated. But this broker says, if you like what I'm doing and you talk about it, I will reward you for the life of that agent's work. Yeah. The life of their work. And any agent that's doing this as a career is going to sell houses quite possibly till the day they die. Like every agent, that's like, the goal. Yeah, just keep selling, right? So as they're doing that, they're running their business. He's giving back a part of that 20% he's getting. And the reason he can do that is because he is virtual. The overhead is so minimal. Yep. There's no office, like there's no, you know, I've invested in this, but you know, we have so many reasons that I've invested in this. But the average agent,
you don't need to.
None of it. And that's also how he's been able to grow so fast. When I came in 2018, it was Canada, Australia, America, I think, maybe UK. That's it. We are now in 20 other countries.
Oh, wow.
And that's only 5 years. Because he didn't need, because we're not franchised, he didn't need brick and mortar. The growth is fast because of the way the model's designed. So if anyone listening to this, for me, when I finally sat down and heard all this, the phrase, and I hear this phrase talking to agents all over the world, that sounds like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It is.
Right.
You're like, it sounds like a no-brainer. It's because it is. Like, there's really very few drawbacks. Honestly, I can't think. And the fact that we can play in a global market is just another icing. So like that rev share piece, the recruiting, I called myself an accidental recruiter prior to this. Like I just would, Fred and I are talking, like I'm talking to someone and it comes out. Right. But I wasn't dialing for dollars to like find people. Right. And this past year I kind of shifted because I'm so passionate and so thankful for what this company's done for me. I am paying that forward and sharing that with people, and about to show Fred how to do that because we've just launched in Dubai. Yeah. Dubai has 35,000 agents in a country of some millions of people, and many of them are in companies that are not offering them anything sustainable. This is sustainable. This is a life you can build for yourself and create wealth. He literally stood on stage in Vegas and said, I want the agents to achieve great wealth. Yeah. What broker's saying that? Yeah. Like,
that's wonderful.
Yeah. And it's how we should be with each other. Like we should build community and work together. It's the coolest thing that I'm sharing listings from my agent friends in South Africa.
Yeah.
Like I actually had another agent like, do you really have an agent you're working with in South Africa? And I was like, yes, I do. And I'm sure. And we get on calls and support each other and encourage each other. Like South Africans have load shedding. I don't know and if you're listening to this, you don't know what that is. The government is literally shutting down their power for hours at a time. Like she said she had to run home and cook dinner before load shedding because she'd have no power and no way to cook.
Oh man.
They're in some, and do you know that in the midst of that, they're still working through it, finding ways. Like it's so inspirational to me to talk. Like I'm having the best time. All of it, like the best time. And then I share the music. Like I was trained this morning, like Renee, and you've got the music, and and I was like, yes, I do. It just always crosses over. So yeah. So Fred, like you heard me tell all of that, and you were just like, sign me up.
Yep. It was like I said, no brainer. You done my homework. You done the research, but I believe what really sold me was your enthusiasm. You're passionate about eXp.
Yeah, the company.
And I believe that's what over everything, that's what really got me was your excitement and your love for it. Now it's like, oh yeah.
You also watched me scale.
Yeah, and I've seen
Like you
yes.
I don't know that I could have scaled like this in another company.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't the same opportunity. There wasn't the same goals, the mile markers to hit. Like this is the thing, shooting for those goals to cap, to icon, running for that means more money in your pocket.
Right.
Like, so like they set these things that you run for, you're never losing. Because even if you don't icon, the run is more money in your pocket.
Exactly. Like, yeah, like
I hadn't had, before real estate to me, and you wouldn't know this because you didn't do it anywhere else, but I felt like I was wandering in the woods without a flashlight. Like I was like, what am I supposed to be doing? And I was supposed to sell, but like, so months would go by and I hadn't even done anything. Like I hadn't sold anything. There was no accountability. There was little, I should say. I'm sure if I'd asked for it, somebody would have stepped up. But like in this company, you don't ask. Like we're all here going, let's go. Like everyone's in this, you know, and I love that about this company. And I will finish with this. There are all kinds of branches on this tree. Some branches are great. Some branches aren't as great. And not every branch is a branch you connect with.
That's true.
So finding your branch and your people and your community is so important. Like when you pick a sponsor, you pick a community to join under. Make those people that you connect with and you feel that bond with. Or if you can run on your own, just get somebody and run. Because I didn't need the people above me. Yeah. I can run by myself. And I did. And then I made my own little branch.
Yeah, so, exactly.
And here we are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have for you, Renee.
Well, you know what? We're supposed to do a fun fact.
Fun Fact Friday.
Fun Fact Friday. Fun Fact Friday. Okay, so here's a fun fact. Here's a fun fact about our company. In the next 5 years, we are projected to be in 25 more countries and move from 87,000 agents to 500,000 agents. And I'd like to know who wants to join me in being part of that movement to bring in those countries and all those agents, because I see the vision and I want to be a part of that. And that's my fun fact.
And that's the ship that I'm jumping on.
He's on the ship. Let's go. Thanks for joining us. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.